In October 2023, a retired official in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen was disciplined by the Chinese authorities. This result has left the average Chinese feeling a deep sense of powerlessness. It can be described as a war between the rich and the leeks. The leeks find out that they are complete losers, while the rich laugh their butts off. According to the Chinese online jargon, leeks are hardy and resilient, growing back after being cut. They have become a synonym for the ordinary Chinese who are being exploited ruthlessly. So, what's the story? Let's take a step back in time to half a year ago. A few months ago, a blogger with the ID Arctic Catfish flaunted wealth online. She posted on social media, "I don't know where the money came from. I only know that my family has 9-digit savings. I can play on any platform I want or go to any country I want." The claim of 9-figure fortune, if true, is believed to be around tens of millions of US dollars in deposits. This blogger said, "What your family earns in a year, I spend it in a day." She had also run away, that is, left China. She added, "All the money in my family is paid for by the leeks. How can I not be joyful?" She teased her grandfather. The old man went to Guilin City pretending to be a fisherman selling fish. Next, he transformed into a man wearing a Western-style suit and became the Wolf of Wall Street in the US. He has it written on his face, "Feeling corrupt." She also named her grandfather's work title, saying, "When my grandfather was the traffic director, your grandfather was fixing people's feet on the street." The Arctic Catfish not only showed off her wealth, but what was more appalling was her description of China and the Chinese people. She called China a colony and Chinas. She called ordinary Chinese people leeks, fat pigs, lowly rats, inferior people, lowly animals, and so on. She described the difference between her life and that of the ordinary Chinese. "We all eat king crab and lobsters, and fat pigs deserve nothing but slop for New Year's Eve dinner." After showing off, she also mentioned Shenzhen public security, as if to imply that China's police were also behind her family. Before we continue, I'd like to present our sponsor for this video, Days Coffee Roasters. Nothing beats that first sip of freshly brewed coffee in the morning. But what about the bloating in the afternoon, the frequent trips to the toilet, the energy crash at 3 p.m.? What if you could have delicious coffee without the side effects? Days enzyme fermented coffee is the answer. Days coffee beans are fermented with a 50 enzyme complex that makes the coffee easy to digest. It's gentle enough for people with sensitive stomachs or even acid reflux. So you can say goodbye to harsh coffee and nourish your gut. What's more, Days coffee is also low in caffeine. In fact, it has 85 to 90% less caffeine than regular coffee, which means you can enjoy Days coffee any time of the day without the caffeine jitters or energy crashes. It's the healthier choice for your morning brew. Of course, a great cup of coffee has to taste delicious and smell great. Days enzyme fermented coffee is shipped to you within 7 days of roasting, so you will always get that freshly roasted coffee aroma. Our fermentation process also enhances the flavors in the coffee. With notes of dark chocolate, walnut, and a smooth mouthfeel, Days coffee makes a creamy espresso and an aromatic drip coffee. Bring home your very own bag of Days coffee today. Use code ChinaInsights to get 15% off. Click on the link below the video to learn more. Now let's move on. For netizens who have seen a lot of things, they have never seen such arrogance. This series of remarks and actions simply stunned them and made the phrase Arctic Catfish quickly top the Chinese social media's hot search. Netizens found out that the blogger was a Chinese girl and Australian student who made the remarks. According to what she shared, her grandfather was a former government official who had been retired for more than a decade. He traveled on government trips to more than 30 countries. Netizens dug deeper and found out the girl's grandfather's name and specific work title, which was the former director of the Freight Management Sub-Bureau of the Shenzhen Transport Bureau. And it seems that a mysterious bigwig has been behind the career of this former director, namely a close friend at the division level. Subsequently, some Chinese media also followed up with the story. On March 24, 2023, the grandfather responded to China News Weekly saying that the claim of having a nine-figure fortune in his family was untrue. He said, "I retired in 2007 and served as the head of the Shenzhen District Traffic Bureau. I worked hard and honestly like this until I retired." This retired grandfather called his granddaughter's claim nonsense. "I wish I had a nine-figure bankroll. Where did I get so much money?" The child was just being vain at the moment. The Arctic catfish's provocation of the leeks has fueled the leeks' fighting spirit. They kept the topic trending on Chinese social media such as Weibo, demanding an official investigation into the grandfather. Finally, in September 2023, the public posted a reply letter from the Shenzhen Transportation Bureau. The Bureau decided it wouldn't make public the results of its investigation into the incident in which the granddaughter of its former director showed off her wealth. This response once again infuriated netizens who considered it arrogance of power. A netizen quoted an old revolutionary poem from the Tang Dynasty where it called for justice and change of the regime. It was followed by many responses suggesting that China needs a revolution to rejuvenate the Chinese nation. Under pressure from public opinion, on October 10th, Shenzhen officials finally announced that the director of the Bureau's Freight Management Sub-Bureau, Zhang Junse, the grandfather of the Arctic catfish, had been punished with expulsion from the Chinese Communist Party and a reduction in pension to that of a second-level clerk. According to the report, he is not loyal and honest to the party, repeatedly colluded against the investigation, used the opportunity to enrich himself and engaged in profit-making activities in violation of the law, took part in part-time work without approval and received compensation in violation of the law, made use of the convenience of his position to obtain gains for other people, and illegally accepted other people's valuables. Concerning the first charge, being disloyal and dishonest to the party, this kind of act is punishable with jail time in China, and coupled with the corruption and bribery that followed, this charge isn't an ordinary offense. However, the punishment of Zhang is only being expelled from the party, reducing his pension to that of a second-level clerk and confiscating the illicit gains obtained through his violations. Such a result has made leeks question their life. A netizen wrote that the estimated nine-digit fortune of this family was moved overseas. They didn't even specify the amount of illegal proceeds they confiscated. The pension was reduced by a few thousand, but still no less than 10,000 yuan, which beats 98% of average workers' salaries. Another said, "My mother has been advising me for the longest time to take the exam to become a civil servant, to which I dismiss and won't budge. But after seeing the grandpa of the Arctic catfish who has embezzled most of his career and was punished with only dismissal from the party and a reduction in his retirement package to the second level of clerk, I admit that I feel tempted to take the exam." There are comments like, "With this level of punishment compared to the illegal proceeds, it's a total de facto encouragement for people within the system to be as corrupt as they can be. This guy got 9 digits of fortune through corruption, but in the end he still gets a big wave of leeks to provide for his old age. I am speechless." On October 10th, Chinese media Sina Finance reported on the Arctic catfish scandal. The trending story finally came to a grand finale. The headline reads, "Arctic catfish passes out laughing." In the article, it states, "If you were the Arctic catfish, wouldn't you laugh your head off at this time? If you were the Arctic catfish, wouldn't you pass out from laughing?" On China's Jihu website, the equivalent of Quora, a social question and answer website, a question was posted. People's Daily commented on the Arctic catfish scandal. What do you think of it? Many profound and sharp comments were found in response to the question. One of them said, "When a dynasty comes to an end, this is what it looks like." However, the page of this question was soon removed. Instead of disappearing like a gust of wind, the Arctic catfish thread provoked many netizens in China, and it's evolved into a 6-month-long campaign of denunciation. It might be because the blogger Arctic Catfish has made many Chinese see clearly that their identity of leeks isn't an exaggeration or a form of self-deprecation, but rather a true reflection of reality. Leeks being harvested is a process the CCP knows too well, and so do the harvesters of the leeks. When Chinese are referred to as leeks right in the face, the harvester's sense of entitlement is obvious. They show no psychological barriers. Their conscience isn't bothered at all. How the Arctic catfish scandal turned out has left the public with a deep sense of resignation, as nothing has changed, and the leeks are repeating whatever they have been through. For the rest of the episode, we'll show a few aspects of the leek-like life of the Chinese people. On the street of Chengdu City, Chengguang, the bylaw enforcers dragged a street vendor's cart, and the young vendor resisted helplessly. In China, working as a street vendor isn't a decent or secure job, especially for young people. Why did you stop my vehicle? What are you hauling? I'm hauling gravel. Can this vehicle haul gravel? Leader, let me ask you, this is a front four-wheeled and rear eight-wheeled truck. Is it wrong for me to haul gravel? You show me what I can do. What do you think I should be hauling? Don't get excited. Don't get excited, okay? Does the Communist Party still let people live? I ask you if I can haul gravel with this kind of truck, and what else I can haul if not gravel. I'm asking you. Everyone, come and take a look. I'm going to post it all over the web and expose you bastards and gangsters for what you've done to the people. Leader, I won't curse you. But tell me what I can haul. I am fine cooperating with you, so tell me what should I be hauling? Hey leader, you point a way out for me, okay? What should we people live on? I have elders and children at home to support. If you forbid us to haul this and that, let us all stop producing, and you can just impound my stuff. You look good in those clothes, but you're all bandits. Let's take a look at these gangsters. Everyone, take a look at this. This kind of truck isn't allowed to haul gravel. They're bandits, gangsters. Some time ago, fuel prices in China rose sharply, leading to complaints from the general public. Subsequently, PetroChina lowered the price, but consumers found out that it was simply fooling the public.
Guess how much the fuel price has gone down? I am too embarrassed to say. They put on such a show, but the result is just a few cents less per liter, which saves a few bucks on a tank of fuel. So what do you think was on their mind? Just a few cents less per liter. When the international price rises, you rise because the international price has an effect on you. But when the international community lowers the price, you don't lower the price because you earn the same as the international community. Today, it plunges by a few cents. Tomorrow, it rises by several dimes. You have been raising the price this way and still claim you're losing money. Why are you so shameless?
Earlier, the public was surprised to find that Chinese National Petroleum Corporation, or CNPC, skimped on the fuel. A liter of gasoline doesn't measure 1,000 milliliters, but only 800.
今天只有打电话咨询一下客服，一升汽油到底等于多少毫升？
I am calling customer service today to inquire exactly how many milliliters a liter of gas is equal to.
Number 499 operator at your service. Hello, I'm glad to be of service to you. How may I help you?
Hello, I would like to inquire how many milliliters a liter is equal to.
How many milliliters is 1 liter? You've got me confused, sir.
How many milliliters is a liter of gas? Is it 800 milliliters of gas?
Wait a minute. I'll take a look. I'll check it out for you.
What is a liter of gas equal to?
Sir, I've checked for you. 1 liter is equal to 800 milliliters.
Oh, 1 liter of gas is equal to 800 milliliters of gas, right?
That's right, sir.
Oh, I see. A liter of gas is equal to 800 milliliters of gas.
Correct. Anything else I can do for you?
That's okay. I got it.
Okay, sir. Thank you for calling.
Some people commented that this formula wasn't what was written in textbooks. In the face of the doubt raised by the public, what was the official response? A man brought a measuring cup to a gas station. He measured a liter of gas coming in at just over 800 milliliters. But staff at the gas station said the problem was with the measuring device.
That measuring cup is actually a gauging tool. It isn't a measuring tool. We can't just take something at random to go and measure.
Such practice of skimping fuel and price hikes can only make life more difficult for leeks. In July, a recruitment platform, Liepin or Hunt and Hire, released a report stating that the average monthly hiring salary in Beijing was 18,976 yuan, or about $2,600, the highest in the country. A large number of netizens mocked this figure as not even a fraction of the real income. According to the China International Capital Corporation, CICC, 94.87% of Chinese people earn less than 5,000 yuan a month, or less than $700. As the economy gets worse, many people choose to keep their money in the bank. Except banks also treat their depositors as leeks just the same. How do they do it? Increasing number of Chinese people have learned that when it comes to financial products at the bank, you would like to earn some interest from your deposits, but the bank has its eyes on your principal. There is quite a probability that one's principal might get drastically reduced or even disappear. I just came out of the bank. I want to share something with you. I nearly got fooled by the staff. So I want to remind everyone to be vigilant. I was almost fooled today. I went to the bank to apply for a bank card. The staff's attitude wasn't particularly friendly, but it was tolerable. They told me to do it at the counter, but halfway through the process, the machine broke down, so I had to switch to another machine. Another staff member came over and asked what was going on. He was told that I wanted to apply for a bank card, but the machine was malfunctioning. This employee seemed very friendly, the kind that I find hard to say no to. After a while, he told me that he was done. As I was ready to leave, suddenly he came to tell me to go back to the office because I still needed to sign a document. I thought it was all part of the procedure and didn't think much of it, so I went with him. He took out a form for me to sign. On the form, my name and ID card number were filled in, and I was asked to sign at the bottom. I had a pen in my hand, ready to sign. Then I glanced at the form and found it was an application for financial products and services. It didn't feel right to me, so I said I was here for a bank card, not any financial products. He assured me it was fine. It was the form that I needed to sign to get the bank card. Nothing changed. I only needed to sign the form, but it didn't feel right to me. So I went to ask the previous clerk why I needed to sign a form like this to get a bank card. I said I didn't come here for financial planning. The clerk got upset. He said forget it and blah blah blah. I got annoyed. I told him this was fraudulent. If someone who is a bit older and less guarded comes to the bank to make a deposit, if you employees do this, aren't you turning the business of making a deposit into selling your financial products? I think the bank is taking it too far. Really, I remind everyone, beware of being deceived. Going to the hospital is another tricky encounter Chinese families have to face. Why should I give you a red packet after paying for surgery? Now medical anti-corruption is still going on. Do you think doctors nowadays are still doctors for the people? This is our hard-earned money. We squeeze money out of food and clothing, giving what we have earned to the hospital. It's like 20,000 for one payment and 30,000 for another payment. That is 3,000 to 4,000 US dollars. It has exhausted all we have. After emptying our pockets, you didn't cure the illness. Now you tell us to transfer to another hospital, giving us only one night to do so. You can't treat the illness. You don't have the ability, so you shouldn't hold up the time. I told the higher-up hospital that the patient needed treatment, but now other hospitals can't treat him, and the big hospitals in the province aren't willing to take him, saying that the patient is hopeless and that he can't be saved. It's already too late. Now you told me to switch to another hospital. Where do you suggest that I transfer him to? The trend of lying flat is spreading rapidly among young people in China. The popular slogan of lying flat says, "As long as I lie flat enough, the sickle cannot cut me."
Sir, what do you do for a living?
I've already said it. I'm in a difficult situation.
How many years have you been working as a day laborer?
20 years.
Where do you go to find work?
Right here.
How is it? Can you find work these days?
It's not easy to find work now. It used to be okay.
Have you been getting work recently?
It's hard to find work.
How long has it been since you got work?
20 days.
Do you have any other income?
No, none at all.
What do you do if you don't get any work?
I starve.
Have you ever worked on any construction sites?
There's no work on construction sites. I am middle-aged, right? I can only wait for work, okay?
Then you still plan to go out of town for work?
No, I don't.
It's because your family is here, isn't it?
Yes, correct.